Today's lady is none other than Aaliyah Dana Hutton, princess of R&B and queen of urban pop. She is credited with helping to redefine contemporary R&B pop and hip-hop. Beyoncé name-dropped her, SZA sampled her, Normani sampled her, Drake has a tattoo of her on his back and told an interviewer she had the biggest influence on his music. And yet most people scrolling through music today cannot tell you what made her so important or why the entire sound of modern R&B traces directly back to one woman who only released 3 albums and died at 22 years old. And the reason her influence is so massive and so invisible at the same time is one of the most fascinating psychological stories in music history, because Aaliyah never chased fame, never performed desperation, never tried to be anything other than exactly what she already was, and in an industry specifically designed to consume young women and spit them out, she remained so completely herself that 20 years after she died, the world still cannot figure out how to replicate what she had. Welcome back to Iconic Her, and today we're going to find out exactly what that was. She was born Aaliyah Dana Hutton on January 16, 1979 in Brooklyn, and her name comes from the Arabic word meaning highest and most exalted one, a name she loved and said she strove to live up to every single day. And she was not a child who stumbled into music by accident. She was a child who decided completely and without hesitation that this was what she was going to do, performing at weddings and church events and charity functions before she was old enough to have a career, and at age 12 she had a perfect 4.0 GPA before venturing into showbiz, which tells you something important about who she was before the industry got its hands on her. Because this was not a girl who needed fame to feel significant. She was already disciplined, already focused, already building something with complete intentionality, and that groundedness, that deep sense of self that existed before the cameras and the contracts and the chaos, is the thing that would eventually save her when everything else tried to take her apart. At 15 years old, at the absolute beginning of everything, the adults around her failed her completely because her uncle introduced her to R. Kelly, who became her producer, and then secretly married her illegally when she was 15 and he was 27, and the entire machinery of the music industry, the label, the management, the adults who were supposed to protect her, either looked away or actively participated in covering it up, and that betrayal at the most vulnerable moment of a young woman's life, when she was just starting to understand who she was and what she was capable of, could have destroyed her completely, and many young women in that position never recover, never find their way back to themselves after being taken advantage of by someone who was supposed to guide them. But Aaliyah did something that required a psychological strength most adults never develop. She walked away completely. She ended the contract. She stepped back from everything that had been built, and she rebuilt from nothing. And her biographer later described One in a Million as a championship project, saying it was redemption, the work of a person who thought she did not have a second chance, and then found a community of artists who equally believed in that mission and created work that stands the test of time. And the psychological lesson in that is one of the most important ones this channel will ever teach, which is that walking away from something that has been corrupted is not failure. It is the most advanced form of self-respect that exists, because staying in a situation that has proven itself unsafe simply because leaving feels like starting over is not loyalty. It is self-abandonment, and Aaliyah chose herself at 15 years old, when most adults would not have had the courage to do the same. What she built after she walked away is where her genius becomes undeniable, because she did not try to rebuild the same thing. She did not try to go back to what had worked before. She found Timbaland and Missy Elliott, and together they created something that had never existed before, blending R&B with hip-hop, pop, and futuristic electronica into a sound that birthed what became known as urban pop, a genre that heavily influenced the future of music and the psychological principle operating in her reinvention is what researchers call post-traumatic growth, which is the phenomenon where people who have survived genuine adversity do not just return to who they were before. They become a more expansive version of themselves, more creative, more fearless, more willing to take risks because they have already survived the thing they were most afraid of. And Aaliyah's music after she left R. Kelly is not just better than what came before, it is completely different in its confidence and its vision. It sounds like a woman who has already been through the worst thing and come out the other side knowing exactly who she is, and her career trajectory became respected by peers for her artistic choices around song selection, image control, and performance restraint, choices that signaled a more modern and less overtly sexualized model of female pop and R&B stardom, which means she was not just making music. She was quietly rewriting the rules for every woman who came after her. Ciara, Tinashe, Nelly Furtado, and Rihanna have all cited Aaliyah as a major source of inspiration, and in the last few years alone, Try Again and Are You That Somebody have racked up more than 140 and 170 million streams respectively on Spotify. And the reason she is so widely copied but so impossible to replace comes down to something that cannot be manufactured or reverse engineered, which is what researchers call authentic mystique, the quality of being completely and specifically yourself. In a way that creates genuine curiosity rather than performed intrigue, because Aaliyah projected sophistication and privacy, and that restraint amplified fascination and lasting admiration. She never overshared, never performed her pain for public consumption, never gave the industry more of herself than she chose to give, and in a world where visibility is constantly mistaken for power, she understood that the most powerful thing you can do is decide exactly how much of yourself the world gets to see, and then hold that line completely. And the artists who copied her look and her sound discovered that they could not copy the thing that actually made her magnetic, because you cannot copy a person's relationship with themselves. You can only develop your own. Aaliyah died at 22 years old, having already survived betrayal, rebuilt herself completely, changed the sound of an entire genre, launched a film career, and become the blueprint for a generation of artists who are still making music today. And the question her life leaves each of us with is not about talent or luck or timing. It is about identity. Specifically, whether your sense of who you are is strong enough to survive the moments when the people around you fail you completely. Because the world will fail you. The people you trust will sometimes make choices that cost you something you cannot get back, and the only protection against that is the same thing Aaliyah had at 15 years old, standing at the beginning of everything. A relationship with yourself so solid and so specific that no amount of external chaos can reach the part of you that already knows who you are. And she built that not because her life was easy, but because she had decided that her name meant something, and she was going to live up to it every single day. Stay iconic.